It isn't a fashion statement. If an astronaut went for a spacewalk wearing a black suit, they wouldn't just look cool, they would cook alive. In the vacuum of space, the color of your clothes is the only thing standing between you and being boiled by the sun. We all know the iconic image, the white suit floating against the black void. But did you know that during launch, astronauts wear bright orange? The color of a spacesuit is a carefully calculated engineering decision designed to keep the human inside from freezing, burning, or disappearing forever. When we think of NASA, we think of the Extravehicular Mobility Unit, or EMU. It is the bulky white marshmallow suit used for spacewalks. But why white? Why not red for visibility, or black to look futuristic? The answer lies in the brutal thermodynamics of the solar system. Welcome to Space Facts. Let's suit up. Space is not just cold, space is a land of extremes. Without an atmosphere to scatter sunlight or insulate you, objects are exposed to raw, unfiltered solar radiation. In direct sunlight, the temperature on the metal hull of the International Space Station can hit 250 degrees Fahrenheit, 120 degrees Celsius. If you wore a dark color like black or navy blue, your suit would absorb nearly all of that radiation, turning the fabric into a radiator that cooks the astronaut inside. White is chosen for its high albedo. It reflects almost all the solar radiation that hits it, bouncing the heat away from the body. It functions exactly like the thermal tiles on a spacecraft. The white outer layer is made of ortho fabric, a blend of Gore-Tex, Kevlar, and Nomax. This specific material ensures that the suit's internal liquid cooling garment, a mesh of water-filled tubes, doesn't have to work overtime just to keep the astronaut from getting heat stroke while floating in a vacuum. The second reason is safety. Space is pitch black. The shadows on the moon or near a spacecraft are absolute. There is no ambient light scattering to fill them in. If an astronaut were to drift away from the station while wearing a dark suit, they would effectively become invisible against the backdrop of the universe. White provides the absolute maximum contrast against the black void. This allows fellow astronauts and cameras to track their position instantly, even at great distances. Furthermore, white makes it easier to spot damage. If a micrometeoroid, a tiny grain of sand moving at bullet speeds, strikes the suit, it might leave a small hole or a burn mark. On a white fabric, a dark puncture wound or a scorch mark is immediately visible, allowing the astronaut to spot the breach and get back to the airlock before they lose pressure. You are watching Space Facts, where we decode the engineering behind the exploration. If you want to understand the machines that keep us alive in the void, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Now let's talk about the orange suits. You might be thinking, wait, I've seen astronauts wear orange, and you are right. During the Space Shuttle era, and even now on the SpaceX Dragon, crews wear bright international orange suits during launch and re-entry. These are the Advanced Crew Escape Suits, or ACEs. Why the change? Because the environment changed. Launch and re-entry happen in Earth's atmosphere, often over the ocean. If a capsule malfunctions and the crew has to bail out, they will land in the blue water. In the ocean, white can look like seafoam or waves, and blue blends in perfectly. But bright pumpkin orange is the most visible color against the blue ocean, making it easier for rescue helicopters to spot the survivors. So the rule is simple. White for space, thermal protection, orange for Earth, rescue visibility. However, as we prepare to go to Mars, the rules are changing again. White suits are terrible for planetary exploration. On the Moon, the Apollo astronauts came back covered in abrasive gray dust that was impossible to clean off. Mars is even worse. The red dust is electrostatically charged and sticks to everything. That is why future planetary suits, like the NASA Z2 prototype, often feature dark grays or even localized shielding plates. On Mars, the atmosphere provides some protection from the sun, so thermal control is slightly less critical than in deep space. We might see a future where astronauts wear Tron-like suits with bioluminescent strips for identification, trading the pure white of the ISS for the dust-resistant armor needed to survive the red planet. Every stitch, every layer, and every color on a spacesuit is there to solve a specific problem. It's a wearable spaceship designed to keep a fragile human alive in a universe that wants to kill them. So the next time you see that white suit, remember, it isn't just clothes, it's a mirror pushing back the sun. If this deep dive into space fashion enlightened you, hit that like button. Subscribe to Space Facts for more design secrets.